In this video, I'm going to talk all about the winners for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, plus all of my makes for the month of January. Let's get into it. Elizabeth from ElizabethMadeThis.com. If this is your first time here, I'm here to bring you sewing inspiration, tips, and tutorials that will help you sew faster, sew better, and sew more creatively. If that sounds like it's something that's up your alley, go ahead and hit that subscribe bell so that you won't miss anything. Today, I'm going to talk about the winners for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Thank you guys so much for participating in that, and thank you for giving me such wonderful ideas. I hope to work my way through a lot of those things and just bring you more extra good sewing helpfulness. But so I'm going to announce the winners, but I'm also going to go through the January makes that I've been working on in my sewing room this last month. So stick around for the end of the video when I announce the giveaway winners, which are on my little finger on my sticky note. But we're going to get into the makes first. Let's get into talking about what I made for the month of January. So it was very popular that I was in the comments that you guys were really looking forward to seeing my finished yarn coat. So I will pop in some pictures, but also I'm going to talk about it too. So as I said, this is the coat that I've made, and it's a sweater knit. It's a sweater knit. It started out as this cream color, and then I took my trusty wool yarn and I looped it all over the surface of it, and I zigzagged across it. So it's a technique called couching, and it's an embellishment technique, and a lot of times people will use embroidery yarns and do it by hand, but I used my machine, and it was not a fast process, but it's just a really cool texture, and I think it works really well on this sweater knit. And the coat itself is an October pattern. I think it's from, oh man, it's ancient. It's like 2007, like 15 or something. I'll pop in the number of the actual pattern. It's just a basic cardigan. The one thing that's kind of distinguishing feature about this pattern is that it has this really big, tall neck, and it's probably too tall for me, but I actually really like it because it blocks out the wind. So it's nice because it's really close fitting, and it means that I can walk out in the woods and I'm not gonna have to worry about stuff. A lot of times, like with hoods, for one, they mess up your hair, and my hair gets messed up anyway. But also, unless it's got like some kind of a closure across the front, hoods don't necessarily block out the wind in the same way that like a good funnel neck like this would actually do. So I'm really loving this. I am just enjoying wearing this. This is just this is kind of a slow project that I've just kind of picked up here and there over the past couple months, and I was glad to finally be able to finish it with my jumbo snaps. Yay, jumbo snaps. So that was that. And then also I also have on a pair of ridiculous pajamas. So you can see I've got these little doggy print. I found this doggy fabric for my daughter, and it was at the thrift store. It had come from Joann, so it just kind of made its way to the thrift store. So it's a really nice cotton interlock, and it's like super cute, these little dogs. So I made her a pair of pajamas, but I still had plenty left over, so I decided I'm just gonna make matching pajamas for myself. So because I had limited yardage, I did some like really creative piecing. Sometimes I think when you use up scraps, it's just good to just use whatever it is that you have, and we do this a lot in my house with knit scraps. We actually call them crazy jams. So once in a while my boys are like, can you make me a pair of crazy jams? And it's just it's a way for me to use up a lot of knit fabric in lots of like weird spots. And so the top is Jolly, however you say that, 3245, which is the raglan sleeve tee. I cut off, the original pattern has like a baseball sleeve kind of curved hem to it. I don't really particularly like that generally for baseball or for just regular t-shirts. So I straightened the bottom, and then I don't think I did anything else to that. yeah, to the pattern anyway. And then the bottoms are True Bias Hudson pants, which are pretty much my favorite loungewear kind of pattern. With the True Bias, I kind of color blocked this. There's like a panel there, and you can see I used my cover stitch to do the stitching to kind of hold them together. I really like this kind of treatment because when you're wearing it, it's nice and flat. There's no kind of irritating seams to put in there. I've done this before with Hudson pants on another just on another pair of pants. I had like a sweater knit and some ponte that I did that too, and I'll go ahead and put the link to that blog post where I showed that particular one. But I love True Bias Hudson pants. I love that there's pockets in them. They're super comfortable. They're just great. So those are my crazy jams for the month. And then I promised the quilts that I was doing. So this is the one that was from the cheater print that I did. So it is just really simple. I literally just, you saw me on my plans video that I just took the yardage of my cheater print, and I made a little slit and I cut it down, and boom, I've got perfect squares. And then I just reassembled them, and I added the shirting fabric, which is this navy stripe, so that when I alternated the pattern, I wouldn't have just the bicycle print down the center. So it's really just two patterns the whole way down, but it's really effective. And then the back is just a cotton poly blend. Oh, what is this? I had it for a pair of shorts that I made, and I kind of waffle back and forth if I wanted to make another pair of shorts, because these are shorts that I wore into the ground. I really like them. I love the blue. It's really nice hand. But in the end, I decided I just need to get out of my stash. So I used that for the backing, and I ran out of quilting basting spray. So I honestly just, I basted the back to a layer of fleece from a blanket, actually. I did that in the other quilt that I'm going to show too. I used a fleece blanket and use that instead of batting, and I like the feel of that. It feels really nice between the two layers of fabric, and it was really nice and easy to quilt. And as I said, I am not a quilter, so anything that I can do to make quilts easy and fast is great, and my boys have already used this for making blanket forts, so that's awesome. So I have that quilt, and then I have this quilt that I made for my daughter. But it is just a bunch of random scraps that I had, and I just made them into squares. They're big giant squares. They're like 8.5 inches square. And why 8.5 inches? Because that's the width of my quilting ruler. As I said, not a quilter, gotta make it easy. And then I backed this one with a tablecloth, actually, is what it used to be. This fabric has really got this cool waffle weave kind of texture, and I had thought for a long time to make a jacket out of it, but there wasn't enough yardage in it. And it also has just a really, it's almost too drapey to make any kind of garment out of. So it stayed in my stash, and it's really thick and heavy. So it was just in my stash for a really long time. And this month I was like, we're just cleaning everything out. Everything that's been in there for a really long time, we're just gonna get it taken care of. So I did that, and then I did my little bias binding on the edge. Bias binding is probably the only thing that I really love about making quilts. I don't mind the piecing, I guess. I don't mind the piecing, but you can see like with the quilting, like it's really basic. I just made X's to going from one corner to the other, and I just did that by eye. I didn't use a marker. So are there many ways that I can improve my quilting skills? Yes, but I'm totally not interested. So all of you people that make quilts, I have so much respect for you, but I would rather stick to garments, and that's just my jam. So, you know, hashtag know your strengths. Okay, so going on my stash busting spree that I've been working on, this is the DG Patterns Victoria dress, and you can see it's got all this nice color blocking. So this is navy velvet and this kind of lighter sky blue velour and white pan velour. So Daniela made this pattern for the day and night dress challenge last year, and I thought it was so cool. Like she had copied this Victoria Beckham dress that she saw and kind of did her own interpretation of it and created this pattern specifically for the challenge last year, and it's always been in my queue to kind of go and do my own interpretation. So when I was in San Francisco this last summer, I picked up the navy and the white also from Cali Fabrics from their brick and mortar store there. And if you didn't see my San Francisco fabric haul, then go check that out. You can see all about my trip there. But so I put all these colors together. I really love how the lines of the skirt are kind of not just square color blocks. They're kind of really swoopy, and I think it's just a really unusual thing, and I had a good time sketching this, and I will put my blog post in there about what this pattern and so forth. But then I had these weird, because of the shapes of the skirt, I had these weird chunks of fabric left over. So what do you do with weird chunks of velvet? Well, number one, I made my daughter a little dress from the navy velvet. I would have loved to have made a pair of leggings for myself, but again, the pieces were just weird from the skirt. So, and they were kind of big too. So I had these weird honky chunks out of stuff, but it was just the right size for me to make this for my daughter. So this is just a little October fold and it's got fold over elastic as the neckline binding, and I did that in hot pink, and then I did that the same fold over on the sleeves, on the sleeve hems. And then I also made a little belt out of the fold over elastic, and then I made a little flower because I could. I always buy fold over elastic kind of in bulk, and just whatever I have left over, I just kind of use it. I love fold over elastic. I think it's a really useful thing, and I love that there's a bagazillion colors and patterns that you can get of it, and it's just a really nice tool in your knit sewing arsenal. So yay, fold over elastic. So that's my daughter's dress. And then also I made myself another pair of crazy jams. So I've got just really standard leggings, and you can see at the hem I didn't have quite enough for my hem, so I just used some of that blue, that sky blue, to make a little cuff on one of the legs. So this is why they're crazy jams, right? And then I also I put the blue up at the top to make kind of like a waistband, and then I've got a little casing with a waffle knit, and this was another knit that I had in my stash. And then I used more fold over elastic to make a drawstring for those too, because I like pajama pants with drawstrings. And then the matching top was from the leftover blue and the leftover cream. And I actually did like, the pieces that I were left with were so weird that I did like this little sweetheart neckline, but on the back piece. And then the sleeves are also kind of just really random bits. But hey, I've got a sleeve and I got to use my fabric. And I really look at crazy jams as kind of a creative exercise in like how I can use the knit fabrics that I have. So I'm pro crazy jams. So I might have to like show people how to approach crazy jams in the future. But that's those. And then I have one more costume change for my last thing that I made for this month. So I'll be back in a moment. So the last thing that I did for the month of January was this toaster sweater hack that I did, the Athleta sweater that I saw. So if you remember from my my January goals video, I had seen this sweater in the Athleta catalog, and I thought it was really cool. It's got this center back zipper, and then there's an under layer. So there's actually 2 layers on the back. So I took the toaster sweater and I used the back, and I I cut a back piece out of French terry, and in the French terry I put a center back zipper, so it's an exposed zipper, and the zipper is a really nice nylon zipper, but it looks like it has metal teeth. Very fine coil, and I got that at the FIDM scholarship store, and that is in my my LA fabric haul video, so check that out. And okay, so I put the center back zipper in there, and then the bottom layer is lace that I cut from a sweater that I had thrifted. Because I was working with reclaimed yardage, I had to piece the back. So there's the toaster sweater back, and then on the bottom is the little curved hem, and I just kind of decided at center back like how deep I wanted that extra bit of hem to be. I took off the hemband that's on the toaster sweater, and I decided like I had to lengthen the actual sweater to make up for the fact that I was eliminating the hemband. So past that point I added maybe like 4 or 5 inches. I'd have to measure it for sure. And then I used a French curve and just curved it back to the side seam for my back piece, and I also did that for the front piece. So I had the curved piece, and then I had the back piece in the lace, and I sewed the two of them together, just one on top of the other, just like a little sandwich. So I put them on top of each other, and I just ran a line of stitching with my cover stitch. So it's difficult to see and also it's kind of covered up by my zipper too, so I'm not really concerned that it's pieced. And again, I wouldn't have done that if it weren't for yardage. My daughter, entertainment wise, really likes to pull up the zipper and not, so that's kind of funny. The lace is not a double layer on the front. It's only French terry plus that little curved piece. And then I used the ribbing from the sweater to act as a hem face, and I did that for the lace on both sides of it. And then the only other thing that I did was I added cuffs, and my cuffs are different than the toaster sweater's cuffs. I made like a crossover kind of thing. It's like a tulip sleeve basically, so it's wider than the cuff would be, and it kind of curves. It curves over on the side, and then they overlap each other as you're sewing it around, so that it makes this nice little curve. And then I put some non-functional buttons in there just to add it, to make it look more, you know, lacy like. So that's that. And then I had just a couple of leftover scraps, and when I'm working with really most fabrics, I like to use every last bit if I can possibly do it. So I cut off a couple of motifs from the lace, and I stitched them down. So this was my last project that I did for the month of January. And yeah, let me know what you guys are working on for January. Like, how did your plans go for the month? But also, let's get into the winners for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Okay, so really quick, let's do the winners for the giveaway. Okay, so the winner of the $25 gift card to Stylish Fabrics is No Elemp 2014. I think I put this person I found on Instagram. And then Jojomaviglia wins the Lifescarf. And Laura Cagan, you are the winner of the sewing kit from Stylish Fabric. And Rikki, you get to have the Mermaid sequin pillow. So I'll put all you people down in the description box, and send me an email at elizabethmadethis@gmail.com, and I will get you connected with Stylish Fabrics so you can get all of your wonderful prizes. But thank you guys so much for participating in the giveaway, and yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Happy sewing. Thing that you're like, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends.